Hello, 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 everyone. Let me get this iPad opened and ready to go. I have 3 things I have on my mind I would like to do tonight. It may change depending on how I feel. If I want to do some quick sketches of ideas that pop up in the chat or anything like that. But definitely either tonight or next week, I want to focus on this chinchilla ice cream sundae situation here, because I think this will be really cute when it's all done. And this, I saw this on Twitter, this owl that looks just like, to me, like a chocolate brownie with like a peanut butter icing layer on top of his head. I think he would be really cute in also a little ice cream dish with like a scoop of ice cream on top of his head and a little cherry on top. I think that would be adorable, like a little brownie sundae. He looks like a peanut butter brownie to me, and I want his chubby little wingy sticking out of the bowl. I think that would be really cute. And hello to everybody that's in chat already. I'm used to talking to myself for the first couple minutes, so it's nice to see people in here. And then I promised my sister, I can't remember what animal off the top of my head, I'm sure when she pops in she'll remind me, but some animal hybrid with a Twinkie was the request. So I might just start sketching a Twinkie, and then when she pops in here to remind me what animal it was she wanted, I'll make it an animal hybrid. So I guess to warm up, I say warm up, but I have been drawing a bit today, some client work, but it was like boats. It was like ships. Oh, there's my sister in chat. She'll tell me in a minute what animal it was, the Twinkie hybrid. But let me just start sketching a Twinkie. I don't even need to look up a reference, I don't think. I think I know what a Twinkie looks like off the top of my head. I'll make it extra stubby. But I was drawing earlier, but it's for this like kids book that's like set during some historical battle. So I had to ask a friend of mine who knows about boats and historical things, because I'm looking up this battle and there's like 20 different styles of ships that I'm seeing, and I'm like, I don't know what the right one is, whatever. So he gave me some help, but I was drawing boats earlier. So it wasn't flexing my cute animal drawing muscles. So it still feels like a bit of warm up. Hamster. Ooh, we might need to make it stubbier then. Okay. We're going to make this a short, fat little Twinkie. Twinkie hamster. And we'll take a little chomp out of him, like the zebra cake zebra we did, so that we can get a look at the cream filling in his butt here. We want a nice little chomp out of the hamster. Actually, if we make it a bigger bite, then it'll justify how stumpy the Twinkie is. Because if it's full length, that's kind of a short Twinkie. But if we make the bite like really big. And also, I just jumped right into drawing and talking about drawing without asking everybody how they're doing. So, how is everyone doing this weekend? I hope everyone's having a fun one so far. I was ready to go as soon as I turned the camera on. I'm like, okay, let's get right to it. Didn't even ask y'all how you're doing tonight. How rude. But I hope everyone's doing well. You're passing through, rewatching your video on cartoon mascots the cigarette companies use. Notice you're going live. Oh, thanks for stopping in. I didn't know anybody still watched those videos. Thank you so much. I appreciate you popping in to say hello. That's cool. Double tapped. Oh, for what? I don't know. I didn't even notice. If you sent an emoji or something, I missed it. I blinked and missed it. But feel free to spam emojis or likes or whatever. I'm so oblivious to how the other side of it works, because I just stream. I just open OBS and stream. I don't know how the little crowns work. I don't know how the likes and emojis. You'll never eat a Twinkie again, but... Oh yeah, you sent me, you re-dyed your hair. It looks good. Your hair looks cute today. Thank you. The bangs are finally long enough that I can do the flippy outie instead of the flippy innie, and it looks way better. Looks way better. And I got the off-white, or I guess brown champagne colored top, the brown, the warms. I'm the warm, check it out, the chocolate nails. I'm channeling autumn, even though it's 85 degrees Fahrenheit today in Chicago. I did not step outside. Horrible. I've got a coffee-scented candle lit. You wish you'd make more? I've been thinking about and saying this for months, that I would like to make short form versions of the mascot videos for like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, whatever. it might be something I work on, like work making the scripts and the research and do that stuff this year and then actually do it next year. I keep saying I want to do it and people have asked for it. And I think that would be a little bit less work intensive than the longer form videos. By longer form, I mean like 15 minutes, you know, videos that I was doing. I'd like to do it. It's something that's been in the back of my mind kicking around for a while. So thank you for the encouragement. I've added it mentally to the list of like a pretty decent handful of people have mentioned that they miss the mascot videos. So it's something I might do. It's like 79 here. Ugh. Looking good. Thank you. The Field of Screams. How was the Field of Screams? Was that last week you went to that, or I can't remember. I'm sorry. I remember you mentioning it. You'll be looking forward to it. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have many things planned for the rest of this year. I got, you know, my mom coming to visit in a week. I've got another little trip. I can't remember if I told you, Katie. I'm going out to visit Erin in Idaho in November for like 6 days or something like that because it was a really cheap flight. So, and she's bored out there because I guess her man doesn't get home till January or something. So I'm like, why not? And then Christmas, probably gonna go home for Christmas. I kept saying I wasn't gonna, but you know, it's been a while. Go home for Christmas. So I'll have something every month, like October, November, December. I'll have something going on every month. You know, I gotta book that ticket, but planning it all out, having something fun to do every month this year. Peace. Thank you for stopping in. Packed October. Yeah. Everything's booked up. I'm booked and busy. And then to figure out this hamster face. I wasn't gonna go home for Christmas because last year I didn't, and it was kind of nice because my other two roommates were visiting family and I had the place to myself, so it kind of felt like I owned this big beautiful house. It was kind of nice, but yeah, it's gonna be a busy year. It was kind of nice. I think all I did last year was I ordered like enough Thai food to feed a family of 4 and just like watch Christmas movies. It was pretty fun, actually. I liked it, but I know there's people that miss me at home, so maybe that's better. It's better than enough Thai food to feed a family of 4. Film the Field. Yeah, I'd like to see it. I'm curious. I like Halloween-y haunted attractions and stuff like that. I dig that stuff. Do I want maybe like a little nose like that? I'm trying to think how to do the nose. Tie one on. Yeah, I did. Roger Dodger. Yeah, it was a chill Christmas. And the older I get, the more I don't want things for Christmas. I'd rather like go out to a nice dinner or go, I don't know. Nothing's open on Christmas anyway, but like I like doing stuff. I'd rather go to a show or go to a museum or order a nice meal or something. I don't like stuff. So, I'll take a card, I guess. I would like to try making a junk journal. I've seen people do that, and I have a little box accruing of like birthday cards and tickets from things. I have a little box full of that stuff. Maybe I'll make it a little scrapbook junk journal thing. I think that would be kind of fun. Let me look up cartoon hamster real quick because I feel like I'm missing something. Maybe I'll look up Hamtaro. That's a cute hamster. And I gotta add little legs to him because he looks a little sad without little leggies. The one you're headed to is in Mountville, Pennsylvania, which is a wee bit far. Oh, that is a hike from you, huh? See, with hamsters, I'm used to doing like two-toned colors like that, but with a Twinkie, it's just the solid gold. I was kind of on point with the eyes, the like big googly eyes. Like that. I think the smile's too big. I think that's it. There we go. That's a little bit better. And then some little whiskers like that. And then maybe some spots to be like the sponge cake. Just a couple. Like that. What's the last time I went to a Halloween thing? Jillian heard you say Hamtaro. She wants that to be the Twinkie Hamster's name now. Aw. That can be his name. I might change his little ears too, because I like how Hamtaros are a little bit bigger. Not as big as Hamtaros, but like, I like this round shape. Like that. It's kind of cute. What do we think? All right, I'm going to do some legs, and then we're going to see if we veto the legs or not, because it might look weird with the legs, because the legs would not be able to hold up his body. Maybe he moves like a little slug or something. I don't know. You should show her Hamtaro. She'd probably like Hamtaro. Little Hamster's Big Adventures, or however the theme song goes. All right, let's try little feet. I want to try... I don't know if that looks weird or not. What do we think? Feet or no feet? And then the back one would be chewed off too. I think probably no feet. He's just like a little slug hamster Twinkie. Maybe I'll make the face a little bigger. That might help. Like that? A little bit bigger. And then make all these angles a little rounder and squishier. I think that works. They had Hamtaro Game Boy games. Aw. We had, by we, I mean, it was my sister's Game Boy. Yeah, body horror with the feet. Yeah, it's too much with the feet. It's too much with the feet. I think the eyes need to be a little closer together, too. Like this. My sister had a Game Boy, and we had the Powerpuff Girls game for it, and it was glitched, so we couldn't get past the first level. But we both still played the first level multiple times. Turn it long side up. Let's see. Like, I know I'm literally just rotating it, but I'm just trying to picture. Really rough mock-up, just like turning everything. Oh, I see. Like, if he's on his hind legs. Okay. And then the bite on the butt is like more to the side. And he's standing up. Like he's got a bite taken out of him over here. It's a little bit of cream filling. And then it's more out of his side than his butt. I'll redraw this, but... And then little feeties. I don't know. What do we think, my sister? It's your request, so... Standing up or laying down? What are we feeling for the Twinkie hamster? Because I'll do a cleaned up line art version of whatever one is less scary to you. Or less upsetting, I guess. More cute. More Hamtaro like then. There's a delay on the chat too, so like I'll just wait a second. I think it's like a 40-second delay or 30-second delay or something like that. Significant enough that sometimes people say stuff and I've already done it or changed it or whatever. Slight delay. I don't know, what do we feel? Standing up or laying down? And then this could be almost two-toned if it's the underside of the Twinkie. I don't know. Just like a slightly darker gold on the bottom of the Twinkie. Tiny tail would look good. Oh, a little tail, like poof. And maybe rotate this a little bit. Move the ear down. Like that. How do we feel about the tiny little tail and the vertical hamster? He looks like he's leaning over a little bit, but that's okay. Maybe if we just rotate a little bit and scooch back. I still want that Twinkie shape, so I don't want too much of a little belly or anything. It still has to look kind of Twinkie-ish. What do we think, folks? The standing up one is definitely growing on me, and it looks a little less freaky. There's something about the long ways, this one, that reminds me of there was a little gif of like a loaf of bread with a kitty cat face on it that my friend Maggie and I used to send to each other all the time and just tag each other with kitty cat bread on Facebook. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Kitty cat bread. What do we think? I think I'll lower the opacity of both and then just clean up the lines, and maybe that'll solidify my decision here. We'll do this like slug one on the left. Slug Hamtaro Twinkie. And then I really want to sketch that peanut butter brownie owl. I think he's so cute. I've been thinking about him since I saw him on Twitter. Like I think the day after my last stream, I saw that and I was like, that is the cutest thing I've ever seen. And it's a food animal hybrid. It was like it was meant to be. The algorithm knows me too well. And it was like, here's a cute animal that looks like a cake. There we go. I'm trying to think. I'm still stuck on like what's the last like Halloween specific like theme parky thing I did. I feel like it was a Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, and it was probably like 7 years ago now. Like way too long ago. More than that probably. Maybe I'll just leave it 2 dots like Hamtaro. The sparkles, where it's kind of like a bigger one and then a smaller one. Now, Halloween Horror Nights is really cool. No, I went to the one that was, when I lived in LA. So probably 2019, because it would have been before 2020, obviously. So probably 2019, 2018. So it's, 6 or 7 years. That it's been far too long. I should probably try to go to the, maybe next year I'll go to the one that they do at the Six Flags out here. I think that would be pretty fun. They go all out for Halloween Horror Nights, though. I'm sure it'll be a much lower budget version at the Six Flags, but I'm sure it'll be fun anyway. Like that. Yeah, I can't believe how long ago that was. 2019, 2018. Yeesh. Time flies. I even liked the family friendly, the not so scary stuff they do at Disney World. I thought that was pretty fun. They didn't do like haunted houses, obviously, but they had like Halloween versions of the characters walking around. They did like Halloween themed fireworks and like shaped like pumpkins and stuff, which was pretty cool. And there weren't as many people there because it was open a little bit later and it's a little spookier. So like the little kids weren't there, so you could get on the rides really fast comparatively to a normal busy day. It was pretty cool. And they had all sorts of food stands with themed Disney Halloween snacks and whatnot. It was pretty cool. It's not as much of a jump scare and a thrill, obviously, as the other stuff, but I liked their family-friendly take on the like Halloween retheme. Though I am sad I've never been to Disneyland in California for Halloween because they do the retheme of Haunted Mansion. That's Nightmare Before Christmas, and I've never been on it. I would love to do that one day because I love Haunted Mansion, And I've never seen the retheme of that in person. I've seen it on YouTube plenty of times, but it's not the same. They need a skeleton version of the Six Flags old guy. Yeah, I wonder, do they still run that commercial on TV with the old guy? Is it like the Hershey Kisses Christmas commercial where they just run the same commercial for like 30 years and nobody is bothered because it's a good commercial? I wonder if they still use the old guy for Six Flags. I hope so. I hope so. It'd be funny if they did meet and greets with like the old guy. Like, I wonder if they ever did that. Maybe they did. Where you could just meet a random actor with like the bald cap dressed as the old guy and he would just do the dance. I never do like park mascot meet and greet stuff because I feel like that's for when you bring kids to the parks, but I would get the photo with the Six Flags old guy. I think that would be cool. And speaking of skeletons, my neighborhood is decked out. There is a skeleton army forming in my neighborhood of the 12-foot tall Home Depot skeleton. I've seen like 20 of them within like 3 streets of me. Every time I go on a walk, there's a new skeleton. The businesses have them. The homes have them. There's a new member of the skeleton army every time I go out of my house. It's an uprising. And it's just like, okay, the local burger joint, they've got the 12-foot Home Depot skeleton. Cool. The next 5 houses in a row next to the bars and all that, they have skeletons. Cool. They're just all over the place. And then I have one house by me that they went all out. They have like probably 10 or 15 of the different like Party City or Spirit Halloween animatronics out with like the little press here pads in front of them that you can step on to like make them do stuff and jump at you or whatever, all lined up. So it's kind of fun. When I go for a walk, I'll step on them just to see what they do. They should have that all year with just fun stuff for people to do on their walks through the neighborhood. Do it with Santas and reindeers and, I don't know, Easter bunnies. It's made my walk more interesting, though. Like, count the giant skeletons in my neighborhood. Alright, how are we feeling about the hamsters? I feel like the eye shine is like too big or something. I'm trying not to sneeze. Sorry if I'm making weird faces. Stare at the bright light. Okay, it went away, I think. Weaponized skeletons. The Grinch injects... Well, they could just dress up the giant skeletons all year. That'd be kind of funny. Like, just put a Santa hat on it, you know. They're cute. Thank you. I'll do this little puff of frosting here, or filling. One more try. I want it to be a cute little, like, chubby, blobby bean shape like that. Cute. And now, we'll delete these. We'll do a rough color pass. Let's lighten up this background so I can see, even though it makes my face look crazy. You're good. You chat as much or as little as you feel like. Nobody here is ever under any obligation to chat. Let's do like that. Twinkie hamster cream dropping. Oh no. Well, I didn't say I would keep him as a pet. I just said he was cute. So it's like how ferrets are cute, but they're smelly, so I would never have one as a pet. Nor would I keep a fake Twinkie hamster as a pet. Let's do... This should be a little more golden, I think. This is like too orange. Maybe the color looks different on OBS. Let me see. So you guys get a slightly brighter, lighter version of the colors that I get. This isn't too different from what I'm seeing, but let's make it a little more yellow. Get some cakey kind of texture in there too. Maybe an even lighter yellow on top. Vanilla sponge cake. Like that. I think that's about right. That's Twinkie-ish to me. Maybe bump up the saturation a little bit. That's about right for a cartoon Twinkie. Then let's get some pink ears in. Continue filling. Oh, it's Alpha-Lax. That's why I was like, oops. Pink ears. Pink tongue. White. Oops. White for the cream filling. And then a lighter yellow for the cake inside. Just to give it a little different color. Same yellow for the tail. And then lighter pink for little fingers and toes. Whoops. Dry ink. Though these days I don't know if there's any pet I would want to own anymore. They all come with so much maintenance, even the easy ones. It's easier to just not. I kind of want to do a little pink nose too on the hamster. And then color the outline, and I think that'll finish this up. Little pink nose. Alpha-Lac. Love it even more than how it's colored. Oh, thank you. Glad you like. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about your kitty. That's a shame. Hope he's doing okay other than not being able to see. Otherwise, quality of life I hope is okay. Though that is a big change. As long as he's comfy. Pink for the nose, pink for the toes, pink for the tongue. I'm so excited to sketch this brownie owl. It's like all I could think of when I was getting ready for this stream. Was like, I might not even work on the chinchilla today. See how in the zone I get working on this brownie owl. We'll see. He's so cute. I can't stop thinking about him. He still gets around. He's an old cat. Well, I hope he stays comfy and chill. That's all you can hope for a cool old cat. They'd be surprised. Our family had a cat named Phoebe that lived to allegedly like 22 or 23 or something. I don't know how old she allegedly was. They didn't count her rings like a tree or anything like that. But she was like 8 or 9 when we got her, and she lived forever. So she was an ancient cat. Didn't really look her age though. She looked basically the same as when we got her. Who's this? Just remember how Little Critter would squeak for lettuce? Yeah. We had a guinea pig named Little Critter, Elsie for short, and she would go weep, weep, weep. The little guinea pig weep whenever the bag would crinkle of lettuce in the fridge when groceries were getting put away. It was cute. Who's this? This is just a Twinkie hamster hybrid that my sister requested because she thought it would be cute. She was ancient. Yeah, Phoebe was ancient. And she didn't meow. She didn't have a meow or a purr up. She would just go meow. Like that. Meow. Her whole life. Even before she was ancient. Meow. She was something. She was very smelly. But we loved her. You had a guinea pig named Peggy Georgia. Aw. Guinea pigs are the sweetest. They're so cute. All right. Just about done. Just finishing up the golden Twinkie colored lines to soften this up, and then I'll change the background to white because I think it'll look good on white. Like many storybook characters often look good on a white page. And this is right out of a weird little storybook, so I think it'll be appropriate. I loved using the cake frog for the thumbnail, by the way. I'm trying to get better about using custom thumbnails for my streams, because it also bothers me that all of my streams have the same thumbnail. But sometimes I'm like, listen, if the theme is just sketching and chatting, it's like, I guess I could use a sketch from a previous stream, but to me it implies that I'm like doing the final art of that sketch or something. Like, I don't know. I overthink these things. But I'm trying to get better about using different thumbnails. All right. Here's Twinkie Hamster, horizontal and vertical Twinkie Hamster. What a delight. What a cutie. And with that, let me crack open my Diet Coke. Take a sip here for a second. Maximize the size on the screen here. I can just see half of my OBS out of the corner of my eye. I think that looks good. Beautiful. All right. We're going to move on to Brownie Owl. Because look how darling he is. The humble chocolate cake. Like, this is a post made with me in mind. I'll lower the opacity a little bit, so if I sketch over top, it's still legible. All right. He's already so squishy and has such a tiny little beak. Like, I feel like I don't need to exaggerate him that much. I think his overall thing is so cute. Like, his proportions, his very calm looking squinty eye. Like, he looks relaxed there, which I think is very cute. He doesn't look like he's uncomfortable being held softly. Little teeny weeny beak like that. I want to make him nice and chunky. And then this layer of like peanut butter icing. I'm literally going to go Google brownie with peanut butter icing to get a better look at some icing, but he's just so cute. I'm going to make his eye a little extra big. Like that. Make it just a little squinty. Like so. Oh, and some other fun news. I'm like, what else did I do this week? So it's not just me silently drawing for a few minutes. At my singing lesson this week, they're like, we're trying to do like a student band as well, and we need people to sing. I'm like, okay. So for the rest of October, they're doing like band class with like a rock band or whatever. They're trying it out for October, and then if people want to sign up for November to continue doing it, they can. So I was like, well, let's try it out. So I think that's either this Tuesday coming up or the Tuesday after it starts. So excited about that. I do like doing a rock vocal, so I think that'd be a lot of fun. It was fun to do the little student showcase before where I sang Call Me by Blondie. That was fun. So I could do something like that again with the school. But if I don't like it, I don't have to do it after October, so it's just a trial period. But it sounded fun to me. He's got like a collar of like vanilla right in the middle here. A little layer of vanilla. Like that. And then this kind of wraps around, this like lighter color wraps around the back like so. We American Band. Choco Cake Bird. I don't know what the music's gonna be. They just said rock, and I was like, okay, cool, I can do that. I mean, I'll try singing anything because it's all fun to learn anyway. Like, I probably wouldn't sign up if it was like opera or something, but any other type of like pop, rock, folk, whatever. Like, I'd give it a spin, just for fun. Why not? You'll learn something, you know. Love Grand Funk. Yeah, I still remember they're the only band that's ever come to my hometown, I think. My middle of nowhere hometown. And a good band, too. What a surprise. there was Maynard Ferguson, the trumpet player, who came, but for band like a rock band, I think they were the only ones that ever came there. There we go. Keep his wing. I want the wing to be very chunky because it looks chunky, like the shape of it. You see this? It's kind of like just like two big chunks of cake. But I like the 3 because it looks a little like scalloped. I like the soft scalloped look. You know, cute. And we'll put him in a little ice cream dish too, so I think it would be funny. And I don't want to draw the hands scooping him, but I like the round shape he gets from being in a scoop. And I was thinking a nest, but I think it might be better if it was an ice cream dish. And it would kind of match the chinchilla, so they can be like a series of like little ice cream treat buddies or something. Just like his round shape. I didn't want to disturb his pleasingly round silhouette by having him stand up or whatever. Put him in a little bowl. Maybe exaggerate, because I want this shape to kind of mirror this shape. I want there to be some kind of like rhythm, and I might exaggerate these things a little bit, like make him a little chunkier here. This will probably get covered up by, I want to do a scoop of ice cream on his head too, because he's like a hot fudge brownie sundae or whatever. Chocolate peanut butter brownie sundae. We'll put a couple little chunky feathers at the back here. One more scallop on this side of the dish. I just like that wing covering up most of it though, because it's such a cute chunky wing. And then this will have like, I want to simplify, you see all these beautiful little colors, the tans and browns? I kind of want to simplify that by just having a few layers of like fudge, you know? Just really simplify that. And do like a caramel color in the middle here, and then darker chocolate. And then this will be like almost black, like super dark chocolate. Just really simplify that. And then I can add some texture with like the chalk brush, like get a little bit of that going on, some little specks and flecks to add cake texture. I think it'll work well. And I want this eye to be a little bit more cartoony cute. So we're gonna make this a perfect circle. And then simplify the eyelid here, because I think it's a little bit too much detail, though I do like the squint. So I'll keep the squint, but I'll make it like chubbier. And open the eye a little bit more. Look at how cute he is. And we'll do a scoop of vanilla on the top of the head. And we'll simplify that as well. Keep it simple, stupid. But I want a lot of that peanut butter icing showing too, so I might pull it back a little bit. A melt there, a melt there. Hide the ear, you won't be able to see that. Have some of it go behind his head. And then have like one big drip. Like that. And show some of this icing on top. Then I want a little bit more of that peanut butter frosting look maybe over here on the back of him. And maybe a layer of like peanut butter swirl here just to make him look a little bit more desserty. He's got like a stripe of peanut butter running through him here. And then this is like dark chocolate with caramel or something. I think that's cute. And then we'll do hot fudge. So another drippy thing here. This will be a layer of hot fudge. Maybe we'll have a little bit run down the side here and gloop over that peanut butter. like that. Not quite on his beak, though maybe it'll be cute if we had like a little drip coming off the beak. Or is that too much? I don't know. I think it's kind of cute. Just have a little bit coming off the beak. I want it to look like fudge, so it's got to be kind of syrupy, thick. Like that. And I kind of want to squint the bottom eyelid up a little bit more because it makes him look like he's content and a little sleepy. Like he's taking a nap in the sundae dish, which I think is cute. He looks so sleepy. Maybe I do bring this back around and thin it out. Maybe it was okay to leave it detailed. He just looks like he's taking a nap. Kind of want to even it out visually over here too. Like that. Big chunk right there. There we go. And then we could do whipped cream and a cherry, I suppose. That's a lot of layers, but I don't mind it. It could be a very tall owl. You know, the new meta on Instagram is to make tall vertical posts anyway, instead of square, so you know what, we will fill up all this vertical space. Why not? We'll do some whipped cream. Like so. Maybe we don't need a cherry. Maybe we need some little, because he's a peanut butter brownie, so maybe some little peanuts. So we'll do a shadow for the whipped cream. And then some little pieces of nuts following on here. Like a peanut butter parfait brownie, brownie bird. Some little pieces of peanut. Cute. And then we'll keep the colors all peanut butter chocolate caramel, kind of like my color situation going on here today. All food colors, all edible colors. It's my color scheme for fall. It's all edible chocolates and caramels and coffees and whatever. I think that'll work. So the dish will be clear. Maybe the background will be like a warm toffee or something light. Let's change the background color now. Let's make it something neutral, off-white, a little toastier, like that maybe. A little neutral. Just a little toasty and warm. And we'll lower the opacity a bit. I'll bring up the opacity of the original picture. Duplicate it. Put it in the... Actually, hold on. I just want the colors, so... Let's take this bird, cut him out, cut and paste, put him on a new layer over here so I can see him. I can get rid of that actually. And then pick some colors out that I think will work. Now if we just eyedropper, we get like this greenish brown, which isn't very yummy. So eyedroppering colors is not always recommended, but I do want to take some colors from the photo. Like I think this brown that's in the wing is good. Maybe we put that as like the base color. I'm just laying down a few colors just to see if they all go together. Probably should put it underneath the sketch so you can see. Maybe like this. And then I like this deep chocolatey brown that's going on around his eyes. So maybe like this color. That can be like the shadow color. Because it's almost black, but if you see it's dark brown, I think that works really well as like the darkest color. So that can be like the shadow color, that can be the hot fudge color, that can be the eye color. And then there's never any pure black in the image, but that ends up being the black color. So I'll put that there, roughly. So that'll be our hot fudge color. Whipped cream color, we just want lighter than the background, which is pretty easy. We don't want pure white. Similar, we don't want pure black. We want it to be kind of soft, so we're going to soften it up and make it like there. I think that'll, yeah, that's still legible. against the background. Now for the peanut chunks and peanut butter frosting. I kind of like a lighter version of this like tone that's in here in the wing. Or this is almost red. I like that. So maybe here, but lighten it up. Just a smidge, like this. Maybe even lighter than that for the peanut chunks. But let's try it for like a stripe of caramel in here. Oh, I kind of like that. Just get some stripes of flavor in there. I think that works. Ooh, we'll do the same whipped cream color for this stripe of white that he's got here, and it kind of transitions into the peanut butter shade over here. Though the peanut butter color I want to be a little bit lighter. So maybe like this. Maybe a little more yellow. Yeah, I think that kind of looks peanut buttery. I think that works. And we could always warm it up too with the texture brush and add, you know, a deeper, more orange shade to it and kind of blend them together. But I think that kind of feels peanut butter. And now for the chocolate color, we want it to be nice and rich and dark because it's this beautiful dark colored bird, but we do want to be able to still see the eye, so it has to be lighter than this. So why don't we take the eye color and just brighten it up a little bit, make it saturated and a little warmer. We still want it to be very dark and chocolatey. That's like too similar, so maybe even a little bit lighter than that. So we want to be able to see that eye. Now what we could do is lighten up the color just around the eye, which might be the move, and then darken it out the further away from the eye we get, so it transitions into the darker color on the edge. I think that might be the move. So we want to see that big, shiny, content eye. I think that'll work fine. I think this is an okay color scheme to start with. And then the bowl, I would do probably a layer that's just like translucent white and then just like lower the opacity. So it would end up being like that, you know? All right, I think that works for a color palette. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that, move that over here. That'll be our little color guide. And then I'll start blocking out the actual colors. Let's dry ink. And temporarily, hold on, I want to sample this color and put it on a new layer. I just want to make the screen darker because I don't like the light that's bouncing on my face. It's like it makes me look a little ghostly when it's too light like that. So just make the color dimmer. See if it's light, it's like spooky on my face. We'll make it darker for right now. I love it. Isn't he cute? I love him too. Alright, new layer, dry ink brush. We'll keep his shapes very simple because he is just a big kind of blob of cake, brownie, whatever. Maybe chocolate colors too. Yeah, I'm feeling the browns this year, if you can't tell by my whole thing. I've worn very vivid colors for so many years that I think I'm like doing a 180 on it, you know? And I remember every time I've ever gotten like a compliment, like, wow, you look great. Always I'm wearing like a brown sweater or like off-white or something. So I'm like, I should just lean in. What is happening with my pen right now? It is like not responding. Hold on. Reconnect it. Hold on. I'll finger paint if I have to, but sometimes the pencil does funny things. I wonder if I wore the battery out earlier. Let's see. I'll finger paint if need be. I can do it. Come on, Apple Pencil. All right, well, we'll try finger painting and see where it gets us. Because this pencil is not wanting to behave. Plan B. But hey, I did all the hard part, planning and sketching first, so this part's relatively simple. We'll make it work. Make it work. Hello, how are you doing? If you can't see what we're doing, I'm working on this This is delectable chocolate cake looking owl here. Isn't he yummy? And my Apple Pencil just decided to stop working, so I'm literally using my finger on the iPad right now to make this work, and I'll figure out my pencil situation later. I think the battery's probably just dead because I was drawing quite a bit earlier. So whatever. I'll turn off the iPad and troubleshoot later. I've been having all kinds of problems with like software crashing and having to restart and stuff. It's just like full moon or something. I don't know. It happens. But this is a good test of my finger painting abilities. It's not too bad when you have a blueprint to follow, really. It's not too bad. It's basic shapes. We can do this. We can make this happen. Now, if I was working on client work right now, I'd be crying, but it's a stream, so we're gonna make it happen. The show must go on. There we go. All right. Lower the opacity. Let's do some clipping masks. And do just something dark so I can see what it is first, the color. And I think we'll do the peanut butter on wing color on the back first. Apple products are not their batteries are. You had an old iPhone for 10 years, but the battery was terrible. That, yeah. I know you're, I know someone just like that. Me, yeah. 10 years. I'll have you know, I replaced my iPhone and it was only 6 years old. Thank you very much. 5. I had to Google what year the iPhone 12 mini came out. Let me show it. Hey, I have to get a new case, but this is the case on my current iPhone 17 that I just got. Do you see this abomination on the back? This ring, how it's like out of center with the mag charge ring underneath. This is for like a little grippy ring thing that I got for it. I ordered a new dupe of this case because this will not come off. This adhesive is like Gorilla Glue, so. Whatever. But the phone's great. The case is not, but the phone is, so whatever. Is my pencil working again? Hold on. Okay, I think it is. Let me just see. It was charged. What happened to my pencil? Whatever. Finger painting's over, folks. Good, this will go a lot faster then. I would have still done it with my finger to make it work, but mercifully the pencil just decided to start working again. Industrial sealant. It came like that. The ring. It had like a little sticky thing on the back, so I'm like, oh, it's like a sticker, and then you press it in, and then you magnetize. Once I lightly set it down on the case, it was like cemented onto it. I didn't even put force onto the case. I was like, oh, it's a little off center. Let me adjust it. It wouldn't move. It was like super glued on. Haunted pencil. Yeah, it does that sometimes. It's whatever. Industrial sealant. It was like a sticker. It's just stuck to the thing. I think it's a combination of it being adhesive and also magnetic, and it's stuck to the MagSafe. It will not move. So I was gonna just roll with it like, oh, whatever. But it bugs me so much that it's off center that I literally just bought a new case. It's like, I won't have this in my life. I can't. It bothers me too much. I'll put this on a new layer and then make it a clipping mask because it's actually easier to see when I do it outside the lines first and then make it a clipping mask. So let's do that. I'm just talking about anything today, huh? I guess that's every stream. What's new? I'm still thinking about that person that popped in just to say to make more mascot videos because I've had that on my brain for so long. And it's like every month or so I get somebody that pops in to come say that. Like, hey, I like your mascot videos. Make more of them. It's like, I know, I should. I should. Alright. Is this... Okay, this is still on top of this, so that'll work. And then we'll make the peanut butter layer here, up here as well. There we go. Alright, clipping mask. Beautiful. Now, probably should do the wing on its own layer. So let's do that. The wing, and then we'll do the little stripes of flavor and color across the wing separately. I feel bad for everybody that has, like, I guess this will be me in a week with my mom coming here to visit. Like, has fall activities planned or, like, wants to do fall stuff and it's, like, 80 degrees outside. It's a joke. Hi, Melody Short Music. How you doing? Clipping mask. Over the opacity. Just pick a random color. You'll need a third ice cream creature. What would it be? Ooh, it's a good question. Yeah, we have the chinchilla that we're gonna work on a little bit here tonight. I did a ferret long ago in an ice cream dish. So I could do another ferret in like a banana split dish. I could do a new spin on that. Or let's think, what other, because this is like a peanut butter parfait, peanut butter brownie thing. The chinchilla will be a classic ice cream sundae. What other ice cream treats are there that are in bowls and dishes? There's a banana split. I guess there could be like a strawberry one with like a strawberry coating. We did a frog cake, or I would say a frog because that would be kind of cute. I think a strawberry frog. It could be just about anything. I do really like how the birthday cake frog turned out. So thanks to, I think that was Leafy that suggested that. Leafy Kitty. Am I going to make this into an IRL dessert? What, an owl? An owl in a bowl? A milkshake? Oh yeah, if it's in that tall, like, malt glass that's like that. Yeah, what would be like a tall... I could do like a snake wrapped up with like a little like that. And the snake could be like... I've met a snake. I've met a snake like it's a person, but whatever. I met somebody who had a snake that was like French vanilla colored. It was like light yellowy white with like little spots all over it. So maybe it could be like a snake milkshake, a snake shake. That'd be kind of cute. And no, I will not be creating this dessert IRL. I don't think it's vegan to eat an owl. I don't know if it is. Alright, so under the wing, we would want the bowl. Here. Plus, you're a monster if you would just put a spoon into this guy's head. Look at that. Oh, I just noted. Look at how far his mouth goes down like that. It makes him look a little sad, but it's so cute. That's so cute. Let me put it on here. Maybe... I kind of like how peaceful and content he looks, but I just want to see. I just want to see what he looks like with the mouth going. Oh, he looks so sad. Oh. No, we're going to leave him looking zen. He's chill. It was a cute thought. I think milkshakes, malt. This is the brownie sundae. I could do another banana split with something else that's long, if there's another long animal. A ferret is the natural inclination for me when I think long animal, but there could be others. Whoops. I'm trying to think of other frozen desserts. There could be like a gelato. Like, it doesn't have to be ice cream. Maybe like a scoop of gelato or something. But I like the glass bowls. I think that's where my mind is, or the glass container. So maybe the glass for like a milkshake or malt would be kind of fun. What other animals would work as a milkshake or malt? I'm trying to think. And this would actually be... Yeah, okay, it is placed over top the body, so I can just lower the opacity. Cool, cool, cool. And then I'll have to do the highlights on their own layer. What would be cute coiled up in a cup? Or sticking out of a cup? Maybe pup in a cup, or... I mean, cats kind of take the shape of whatever vessel they're in, like water, so it could be a cat. Could be a cat shake. There, we got that nice chubby wing sticking out of the bowl. I'm going to lower the opacity a bit. A lot, actually, a bit. And then we're going to make sure that there's a foot inside the bowl and that the body is fully in the bowl, because you're going to be able to see through the transparency of it. So we'll have like a little footy sticking out. Whoops, not a clipping mask. We'll do that on a new layer. We'll do like just like a little footy against the glass like that. Maybe, or down here so it fits the shape of the bowl a little bit better. Is that what an owl's foot looks like? I'm gonna have to Google. I mean, it's simplified, so I think it would be okay, but... And you won't be able to see it too well. It'll be through like a frosty glass with glass highlights on it, but... I kind of like just the one. Ooh, a gecko? Ooh, a gecko shake would be cute. And you could see his little feeties sticking to the glass. That's cute. I like that. Hold on, new tab. Owl foot. Oh, I'm missing the bat claw. That was it. I was like, why is this not... I guess this is a bat claw, but... Or I could just... Because he's so orb-shaped, I kind of don't want to disrupt the orb that's going on here. So maybe just have, like, a toe or two sticking out of the bottom, you know? Yeah, I don't want to upset the orb shape he's got. So let's do just a couple toes. Like so. Okay, I think that's adequate. And it won't be too visible through the bowl anyway. I'm going to go from like more opaque at the bottom to transparent at the top. That was supposed to be an arrow, but it doesn't really matter. So we'll make it as opaque as I want it to be at the bottom, and then I'll like mask and erase. So mask, and then round render, and we'll make it a little bit more transparent, like in the middle. Give it kind of a frosty glass look. And a little bit in the middle of this like stem here. And then a little bit on the foot. Just give it that nice frosty glass appearance. Though I know sundae dishes and stuff are usually super clear, but I like a frosted glass. I think it has a nice texture to it. I think that's cute. Let me close this tab so I can see my chat again. Okay, good. I didn't miss anything. I always worry I missed some crucial message where it's like, hey, actually, you made a huge error and you're missing it and you're not seeing it. The value of asking for feedback. Earlier, it's gonna save me like hours of my life, this book thing I'm working on with the ships, because I happened to ask somebody who knows about ships and was like, actually it would be this type of ship from... I'm like, thank you Thank you. Because I don't know anything about boats, and I'm not being paid enough to like research boats. And this client did not send me information about what boat they wanted. They were just like, it's a battle from XYZ era. Okay. I'm like, okay. And then I Google this battle, and I'm presented with like 50 different styles of boats, none of which look the same, mind you. So I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And I was complaining about it to somebody, and they told me like, actually it would be this type of boat with this type of shield that people are holding on it or whatever. I'm like, thank you so much. I knew I was asking the right nerd. I knew I was complaining to the right nerd about this. Saved hours of my life. So it's always valuable to ask people for feedback, was the point of me saying that. And to have people telling you screwed something up or whatever. It makes your work so much better. And saves you a lot of time, frankly. Because it's hard to go outside of yourself without literally sleeping on it, taking a night, and then coming back with fresh eyes. It's hard to see your own errors for what they are. Or see what you did really well. Sometimes I'll sleep on something and I'll come back to it and I'm like, dang, I really did that, you know? But I didn't see it while I was working on it. Like frog cake, I think looks better now that I'm like not working on it. I'm like, I really did that. That frog cake does look like a frog and a cake. I ate that. And I always have the nerds in mind, because sometimes these client projects, like the client doesn't care if it's historically accurate. They're not paying me enough for me to care about it. But like, I know out there is going to be some nerd that's going to get a headache if I get it wrong. And I'm always keeping them in the back of my mind. I'm like, what would the nerd of this thing think? You know? I'm thinking of the nerds of the world when I do my client work. Because I know out there somebody's going to see it and they're going to be like, actually, this boat would not be possible to be built during this era in history. I try to be nerd friendly. Kind of like this straight and then round chunky shape for whipped cream. Like that. I think that'll work. It's okay if it's a little uneven. His head is kind of slanted a little bit anyway, so whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect. And this friend pointed out a very obvious thing I did with the waves of the ship, where it was like I had the waves, like I had the boat like this, and the waves like this. And he's like, no, you want the boat going into the waves, so it should be like this. And it's such a stupid little thing that I would have never thought about or cared about. Because in my mind, I had it like, I was thinking of a stage play where they have the little waves cut out like that. I wanted to make it really simple. And he's like, that makes no sense. If the ship's going, whatever, if the wind's blowing the sails like this, and it's going this way, the waves would be going that way. I'm like, you're actually right, but... Thank you. Hide that for now so I can see where the scoop of ice cream goes. I think we'll make this a nice French vanilla. I want to make this like a slightly off-white and then put little vanilla bean specks in it. The good vanilla ice cream. This is a premium dessert, this owl. He is not cheap on the menu. There we go. I want to tackle that right now, actually, before I forget that I intended to make it like a French vanilla. So let's do a slightly off-white. We don't want pure white or pure black because we want this kind of softer, lower contrast. So let's do a slightly off-white as the base color and then make it a little bit creamier and darker at the bottom. And then maybe use the smudge tool to smooth it out without making it too airbrushed and smooth because I like a little texture. Maybe a little bit darker than that at the bottom. French vanilla ice cream I feel like is always a little bit yellowish too, so maybe we'll bring a little shade of yellow in. Ooh, that's about right. Yeah, something like that. That looks delicious to me. Now I'm sad I don't have dessert in the house. I ate the last of my popsicles, and I hope they're not discontinuing them. But Outshine, those people that make the all fruit popsicles, they make these awesome, like, tropical ones that are like pina colada flavor that are like pineapple coconut. And I keep seeing them go on heavy discount when I order them. So I'm like, I should probably stock up and get like as many boxes that can fit in my freezer, because I feel like they're going to be discontinued for the season and I'm going to be really sad about it. But now I'm sad I don't have one in my freezer because that sounds really good. We'll do some little dots, some little vanilla bean specks. Actually, I want to get a visual on vanilla bean ice cream before I go ahead and do this. Vanilla bean ice cream. Images. To see how spaced out the specks are. Okay, that's a pretty good image. Alright. They're a little bit darker specks. And a little bit bigger. There's like little clusters of them. Like one or two big ones. And then a couple little ones. Now mind you, the hot fudge is going to cover most of this, but there we go. There we go. The beautiful thing. That looks so cute and yummy. I want to eat. I want to eat it. I have to have ice cream now? Yeah. I hope you have some in the house. There's a place by me that does vegan ice cream, and it's so hot outside that actually I might do that tomorrow, treat myself. They do these really awesome sundaes that are like candy bar sundaes, where they do like an oat-based ice cream and then it's got like a chocolate shell and peanuts and caramel on it. It's really good. I might do that. Might be my little treat for myself tomorrow. You do. Dig in. The sweet tooth runs in the family, I think. They usually have at least something in the freezer, but today I am dessertless and it's very sad. Wonder if Trader Joe's is still open. You can go get, they do like vegan ice cream sandwiches, oat milk ice cream sandwiches that are good. And little, they have the hold the cone things they do that's just the good part of the drumstick, cornetto, whatever, just the bottom part. And they do a vegan version of those that are very good. I don't like keeping those in the house because I will eat like 5. They're tiny, but I will eat like 4 or 5 of them in a sitting. It's not good for me to have in the house. I feel like the spacing is too even. I feel like I need to put some chunks like next to each other, almost overlapping, make it a little bit more crowded in some spots. But I don't want a million little pieces of peanuts on it, but you needed apple juice for beans, so grabbed ice cream over there. Good idea. Good timing. Can you imagine you watching this and not having ice cream to eat later? Am I still drawing with? Okay, I'm drawing with the right brush. Cool. I think that's enough little pieces of peanut. Maybe not. This whole area down here looks very blank. Just a few more chunks. I need some on the top. Kind of want this sticking out like that. He's almost like a little Snickers bar sundae if I put some caramel drizzle which this like stripe on his stomach, and I guess maybe the stripes on the arms will be kind of, or the wing will be, shows the power of suggestion. Well, it's good. It's a successful piece if it's making people hungry. All right. Clipping mask here for the shadow on the whipped cream. And I'll change the color of it as well so it's not pure white. We'll make the shape a little over exaggerated and big and then bring it in with the chalk brush, I think, to soften it, or the round render brush even, to soften it up. Make it a little bigger than I want it to be first. And then probably mask it. This is a labor of love. This might be the rest of the stream. And then chinchilla next week. I really wanted to draw this. As soon as I saw it on Twitter, I'm like, that's next stream. You want some ice cream too? You always have something sweet in the house, don't you? Mask. Round render. Let's soften this up. Cherry on top. You think there's room for a cherry on top? I kind of like leaving him just like a peanut butter chocolate boy. Unless you're just talking about a cherry on top for you. I avoided it the whole stream. Sorry if that was super loud. I hope it wasn't because I was away from the mic. I avoided it the whole stream. You definitely have dessert options. I knew you would. I know you. There's always a cupcake or a cheesecake or something at your house. Or something you could whip up in like 20 minutes. Bless you. Thank you. And there's always Oreos and stuff at your house. Do you pick up those Reese's Oreos yet, or are they not in stock? My sister had to message me about the news that there's Reese's Oreos. Which sounds really good because everybody knows my favorite are the peanut butter Oreos. They're so good. That's another dangerous thing I cannot have in the house. I will eat a third of the entire package in one sitting. Easily. Easily. I don't know if I want the chalk on the whipped cream. Maybe. I think zoomed out it looks okay. Let's zoom out and do like a light dusting of it. Yeah, that looks kind of cute. Just made a cheesecake the other day. What did I tell you? Always at your house there's something. Every time I've been there, there's like an entire cake and a thing of cupcakes and like cookies. There's always something. Yeah, I think I like the chalk actually. It's kind of old storybook. Alright, we'll do that. And then maybe a highlight on this edge. And bring it back in. Just round it out, I guess, with white to fill it back in. Like that. You haven't gotten them yet, you're getting them ASAP. They look so good. You gotta let me know if they're better than the regular peanut butter, because those regular peanut butter ones are so good. They're better than any other Oreo. Hands down. So I wonder if the Reese's will top it. I can imagine the chocolate peanut butter being a little better than just peanut butter. Yeah, like I said, it runs in the family of the sweet tooth. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was going to change this color. Round render. Let's make it like a cream color, perhaps a little pinkier. Whoa, you see the round render one? That's giving me like 20 different colors. That's not what we want today. Maybe that's a little peachy for whipped cream. Maybe we want it more neutral. Grayish. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I don't know if I like that highlight anymore. I might just get rid of that. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, the regular PB ones are they're so good. I'm mad I don't have them now. I remember I ate so many I question all my life choices when I was in Arizona on that trip years ago. So I can't remember who bought them, if it was my boyfriend at the time or his brother. Somebody bought a thing of them and they were gone that night between me and like one other person. It was a disgrace. I could win like a hot dog eating competition for peanut butter Oreos. There we go. All right, I think that looks okay for the whipped cream. I don't want to spend too much time on the whipped cream. All right. I want to get the eyeball drawn on here. That big, cute eye of contentment and charm. I'm gonna have to find the original tweet and quote tweet it with the art when it's done, so they can see their impact. Both the original tweet and the one where the person said the humble chocolate cake, because I would have probably seen it as looking like a humble chocolate cake with my own eyes, but their suggestion was the reason I'm drawing this. So I want that person to know they inspired me. I'm sure somebody else has drawn this too, because it's so cute. It's like, Katie, did I send you the video of the cat with the stool with the eye holes cut out? Where it was like a step stool like this. And there's a cat under there with his little paws. And somebody cut out holes so that the cat could see while it's underneath the stool. And it's like that. There's a TikTok of this. And in the comments, there was like 30 different people that drew their own rendition of the cat under the stool because it was so cute. That owl's eye looks terrifying right now because I haven't added the eye shine yet. Let me fix that. I'll leave the little cat stool there for a second. But it's really cute whenever there's an animal that's just like so cute that everybody has to immediately rush to draw it. I did that with I animated that cat years ago where this cat rolled around in a bathtub after somebody had a Lush bath bomb in there and it was just covered in glitter. You saw that? Isn't that cute? The little cat with the eye holes on the stool. I saw that on TikTok. It was so cute. I'm sure it's made the rounds to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever by now. It had like 5 million views and it was just cat under a stool with the eye holes. Yeah, there's this cat that rolled around in a bathtub after somebody had a bath bomb in there and it was just covered in glitter and it looked like a magical sparkling cat. It was very cute. I did a little animation of it years ago. It was right at the tail end of Vine, I remember, because I was going to try to make little animated vines, 6-second looping or whatever. And then Vine literally shut down like a week later. Oops. Oh well. I could do it with TikToks, but I lost my motivation to do it. I want a nice little sparkle in the eye. Because it's cute. Isn't he sweet? Look at this bird. Isn't he sweet? Isn't he such a delectable treat? Wouldn't you think he's the bird who has everything? Here we go. Okay, we want his beak to be a little bit lighter than his body, I think, is the move. So you can see it. Let's darken that. No, I kind of like it a little bit darker. Maybe I'll make it as dark as the eye. Is the eye pure black? We don't want that. We want dark brown. Whoops. Whoops. Alpha black. Here we go. A little bit darker than that. Okay. Beautiful. Alpha lock. Let's get some cake texture going. I'm gonna color pick some shades of brown. Yeah, Little Mermaid. I've been practicing in singing lessons Somewhere That's Green from Little Shop of Horrors, which Katie's familiar with. I don't know if you are, but it was written by the same songwriter composer as Little Mermaid. It was Alan Menken and what's his name? Howard Ashman. That same team did all the music in Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. I think Hunchback of Notre Dame also. But they did Little Shop of Horrors first. And Somewhere That's Green is kind of the prototype blueprint version of Part of Your World. It's the I Want ballad. It's got kind of the same emotional resonance. It's got some of the same like note changes. So it's kind of like the original version of Part of Your World. Part of your world and somewhere that's green is like, it's kind of the same. So I've been working on that in singing lessons. It's been fun. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I want to lighten him up a little bit, but let me just get a variety of brown, cakey, browny colors and textures on him. We really want him looking like cake. And then I want to lighten it up behind his eye a little bit, so I'm not going to worry too much about his feathers being too dark, because I'm going to brighten it up behind his eye so you can see it. But I just want texture. So let's get that. Where was it? Textures, charcoals. There was one that was like flicks of paint. Flicks, yeah. I like that because it adds these little spots that kind of give it a, to me it's like kind of a cakey texture. Crumb. I love singing all the mermaid songs. It's fun. Keep it up, beautiful. Thank you. You should see when I actually try now. I was already a karaoke superstar. I'll be actually good at singing a few more months of lessons. I knew that whole movie inside out, dialogue and everything. I probably still know quite a bit of it. And I think that's a pretty good texture. He looks kind of brownish to me. Let's do toolbox, Bonobo chalk. Let's do a little bit brighter, like that, behind the eye. So I want to be able to see his eyeball. Heading to bed. You all have a good night. Peace. Good night. Sleep well. I can't believe I've spent basically the entire stream on this guy. Might as well spend the next half hour refining him, right? Give him a little extra TLC. He's got like kind of a light gray around his eyes, so I think it kind of works with the lighter brown. Maybe even a little bit more neutral light brown just to brighten it up. There we go. Okay. Maybe I will brighten up his beak so you can actually see it a little better. My shoulder feels... Oh, I don't know what I'm doing with my arm. It's because I've got the iPad like a little higher up than I normally would. I'm normally like low to the ground, hunched over it, which is terrible for my back, but okay for my shoulder, I guess. I don't know. Round render. Let's make this a little brighter then. Maybe somewhere in the middle like that. Okay, I think that works. Let's do a similar cakey texture on this wing here, but we'll make it a little bit brighter at the top, I think. Let's sample some of the same colors, get just a wash of similar browns in. Maybe a little brighter at the tippy top. Sample that color around the eye. Like that. Bring in this darker shade. Get that flicks brush flicking. Get some texture in there. It looks pretty good actually, the way it is. A little bit darker on the bottom here. Yeah. Looks very cakey. And we'll do another overlay layer. And just so we can brighten up this edge. So we can see that wing stand out. I think that works. What's really going to bring it together is this peanut butter frosting color, I think, that I still need to do. But we'll do the other stuff around it first. We'll do, these can be like caramel color, I think. Because it is kind of peanut butter color on the wing, but I like the idea of doing like a caramel. So we'll do like a little warm strip of color here. Maybe a little bit more vibrant and orange in the middle. It can be a little bit unnatural caramel color, just so it's a fun color that pops out. That looks okay. Maybe I'll bring in some of that warmer peanut butter color to the edge. What do you think? I think that looks kind of caramelly. Caramely. Let's get this peanut butter in. That peanut butter color. And then we'll do the same off-white whipped cream color, and we'll fade that into the peanut butter color over here. I think that looks delicious. And the back wing color, we'll do that same peanut butter. Maybe we'll do darker here so it's like pops out. See, this is bugging me where this isn't quite lined up. Like that. There we go. That's better. Fixed it. I think he's looking mighty peanut buttery to me. And that icing on his head is the cherry on top, is the peanut butter on top. And this hot fudge needs to be fully opaque and a different color. Where's the hot fudge? Where did I hide the hot fudge? Oh, it's right here. Here we go. I mean, I could make this a caramel sauce, but I like it being a hot fudge. I think that's cute. Chocolate peanut butter brownie deliciousness. Beautiful. And we'll do some detail of white highlights on the dish. Like this. Hold on. And I think I'll make them slightly transparent as well. But we'll see. Maybe it'll look better if it's fully opaque. I kind of like the idea of making it a little bit transparent. He's just chilling. Yeah, he's literally just chilling. But I do like how content he looks. He looks like those monkeys that sit in hot springs, you know? Just hanging out. And although he looks delectable, I don't think anybody's going to be heartless enough to eat him. So I think he can relax. Somebody might take a bite out of the whipped cream on top of his head, but I don't think he'd mind. Or like capybaras sitting around in those bathtubs with oranges. Just very zen and chill. I'll put another line there. like that. And do like highlight around the bottom here. And do like that. There we go. That looks cute. And then just to bring more attention to the eyes, I think I do want to brighten up behind his eyes a little bit more. I don't want the highest contrast thing to be the glass, so maybe lower the opacity of the glass highlights a little bit. Zoom out. Okay, yeah, we want the area behind his eye to be a little bit brighter. 85 here today. Yep. Here too. I did not leave the house. It's October 4th. I shouldn't be sweating when I leave the house. I don't live in Australia. It's crazy. I guess in Australia it would be spring, right? The opposite season. Leafy Kitty could answer if they were here, but alas. It is too hot for October. Is this the right layer? What am I doing? Oh, that's the wing layer. I'm like, why am I not seeing any? Duh, here we go. A little bit lighter and brighter behind the eye. Just want this to be a focal point. And I think that works if I do that. Plus the white on the eye I think works. And then I want to do a little highlight on the eye as well. We'll give him a nice orangey brown tone in his eye. We'll erase a bunch of that. Clean it up. I was excited about our bills going down for not having to use the AC as much. And lo and behold, the AC has had to be on. Oh well. It'll cool off in a couple weeks, I think. I think the forecast in like a week it was like 65 or something. We'll see. Maybe we'll get autumn for a week in November and then it'll be ice cold winter. Aw, that looks so cute with the little cold front Tuesday high of 62. Ooh, I hope that hits us. I hope that comes our way. Let's get a little shadow, like slightly darker underneath here. A little bit darker. Just have a little shadow under where the ice cream's sitting. I kind of like the rest of it being kind of flat. I don't want to over render everything. I think there's enough 3D going on with the glass and the eye. I don't want to overwork it. I do want to add a little bit of color, texture, variety to the little peanut chunks. So I'm just going to do a quick pass with this brush and add like maybe a brighter color in there. Maybe more yellow color. Just to add a little color variety to the peanut pieces. Subtle, but I notice. And then let's bring back that background color to make it this light cream color again. And remove the sketch and all the other accessories. We don't need this cat stool anymore, so we'll get rid of him. Bye-bye, cat under the stool. We'll get rid of the photo reference and then the color reference. And let's play with that background color because I was kind of liking the darker background the more I was doing it. Where is this chunk? We can get rid of this. And then let's make this foot actually a little bit darker. Here we go. There's a foot in the bowl. I kind of like this, like medium tone. I want to be able to see the peanut butter color and all that. Or we could go super dark, but then it kind of messes with the hot fudge. Ooh, somewhere in there's kind of good. This medium tone. That's kind of cute. Just trying to find something where you can see everything, you know? I think that works. Let's try like a color texture situation on top. Let's try maybe a little bit darker on the edges and smudge it and play with that. We'll sample some of the colors from the picture, so we'll get like a little bit of the hot fudge in there. Maybe a little bit of this caramel tone in there. And we'll smudge it around and play with it and just see what happens. So I like using this brush to smudge color around. Real earth tone, tasty. And maybe we'll lower the opacity so it's not this obvious either, but just a little bit of something. Maybe add some noise to it to add some grit. Yeah, we'll make it really subtle. I don't want it to be too crazy. But I kind of like a little bit of that painterly texture in there. It's kind of nice. Warms it up a bit. It's kind of giving like a lime wash wall paint or something. Chocolatey and adorable. Thank you. I like him too. Let's try a layer of noise, and I want to put this on top of everything, I think. Noise. Overlay. Yeah, that adds a little something. But I think the beak's kind of getting lost. So we'll go play with the lightness and brightness and stuff. Reminds me of like a caramel swirl brownie. Yeah, he's a little peanut butter caramel brownie boy. Oh, that's kind of cute. It's a little low contrast. Like when you zoom out, it's a little hard to read, but like I don't mind it. I like how yummy he looks. I think he looks delicious. I think he looks delicious. Let me try an adjustment layer. Just for funsies. Let's just adjust. Let's make him a little more gold and brown in the middle to like brighten it up. Just play with stuff. I got a few minutes before I normally sign off, so let's just experiment. Let's just swirl around some stuff and then play with adjustment layers and see what happens. Ooh, I kind of like how that soft light looks. That really warms it up. It's like so gray, and then just a little touch of that. Ooh, that like warmed up the whole thing. I really like that. Like right around here. That's great. I don't know if it... Yeah, that looks... Ooh. I like that. Now, one other thing I'd like to do is maybe underneath the noise layer, actually. Add a couple little highlights to like the hot fudge. I think the beak needs to be probably darker because it's getting lost. So where'd the beak go? Maybe make the beak the same color as the eyeball. Whoops. Let's alpha lock. It's getting kind of lost. Or maybe darker on the bottom, lighter on the top. That kind of works. Though I think if I just make it a little bit more complex, it adds something to it. Does anyone like caramel ice cream? That sounds delicious. All I know is, you know, like caramel syrup, caramel swirl. That sounds delicious to me. The beak was kind of getting lost. I think that's better. I'd like to add like a highlight or a sparkle or something to the hot fudge. Just like... I don't want too 3D of a look, like I said, but let's just see. Or maybe... Wrong layer. Yes, you like caramel? Caramel on ice cream? Yeah, I've never seen an ice cream that's just caramel flavored. That sounds really good though. That makes it a little gooier looking. It takes away the hot fudge look a little bit, but I don't mind it. Maybe if I tint it more cool tone. Maybe a little bit more like that. I think that's okay. I don't think that's too much detail either. Okay. I think I'm satisfied with that. Maybe a sparkle on like the dish or something, just cause I like sparkles. Make the sparkle more obvious in Mr. Owl's eye here. I mean, if he's getting his photo taken, there's probably bright lights making sparkles and things bouncing off of the glass in his eye. Make that sparkle a little bigger. And do like a little sparkle on the dish here to match. Just because I think it's cute. Dang it. I'm allowed to do things just because they're cute. Everybody likes sparkles. One little one there. Maybe another little one like right here. Just little sparkles. You need a picture of him in a fancy frame hanging in your kitchen. Aw. It kind of matches the like Tuscan kitchen vibe that people are back into now. Aw, wasn't he special? The sparkles. This came out great. Thank you. Yeah, I like him too. I don't want to go overboard with the sparkles, but maybe a highlight on the vanilla. Just to make it shiny. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with him. I'm happy with him. I'm not going to write a name on it because I like it without the name, but what would his name be, do you think? While I sit here and I'm going to celebrate finishing a complete piece in one stream with a Diet Coke sip. What would his name be? I like how color coordinated the stream is today. I got the curtain, the nails, the chocolate nails. This is a very color coordinated stream tonight. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Happy with this little chocolate boy. Let me ask the pro. Yeah, we need Bean to weigh in. What would this chocolate peanut butter brownie owl's name be? He's a chocolate peanut butter French vanilla caramel owl. I'm sure she's got a good name. I'm gonna stretch after this and post this to my Instagram. This might make it to the main Alyssa Aaron art Instagram instead of just the stream one. Bean says bingo. Aw, I like that. Bingo the brownie owl. I think he's really cute. I'll send it to my phone so I can post it on Instagram, and then tomorrow I'll do my Twitter posts where I quote the original picture and the person who said the humble chocolate cake, because let us not forget the inspiration for this whole thing was the humble chocolate cake. I just want to put this layer on top so we can see the comparison. Whoops. Here we have the humble chocolate cake and our friend Bingo here. I think it's a pretty good, pretty faithful recreation, if I do say so myself. Look at how cute this guy is. Isn't that the most precious thing you've ever seen in your life? I want to hug him. Like it, Bingo. Alright, well, everybody say goodnight to Bingo, and goodnight to me, even though I will be awake for quite a few more hours. But good stream today. Looks like the pick but Alyssified. Thank you. We got Bingo, and then to remind anybody who wasn't here at the beginning of the stream, who's watching or lurking or watching the replay, also did these Twinkie hamsters. I will send these to you, Katie, and also post them on the stream Instagram. But the piece de resistance is Bingo the brownie owl. Night night, Bingo. All right, night everybody. I will see you all